What's going on, YouTube world and YouTube tribe? Welcome back to LilBigMan Gaming, bringing you a review for Injustice, the animated movie. All right, yeah, you know how we do, right? On an alternate Earth, the Joker tricks Superman into killing Lois Lane, which sends the hero on a path of destruction. Superman decides to take control of Earth, and Batman and his allies must try to stop him. Um, okay, going into this movie, if you thought this movie was just going to be about the prequel comic book series and that then it would lead like it was just going to be based off of the prequel comic book into Injustice God Among Us, that will lead into then like the sequel will be the actual will be just called Injustice God Among Us, just like it'll be actually the retelling of the game event, and then we'll get an Injustice 2 type thing. Um, no, that's not what this is. Uh, it does, for the most part, retells the events of the prequel comic series, but then it mixes the video game events with this. So it's like a mixture of the majority of the premise is prequel series, then it mixes the games. It mixed the games into itself, the game events into the prequel series events. So basically, it starts off like the prequel series does, where Superman realized that Lois Lane is pregnant with his unborn child, and he's happy. He's excited. He's freaking out. You know, he's already making future plans for the kids, where the kids gonna go to school. He wants them to go to Smallville. And then you got Lois telling him, you know what, just slow it down. We got all our lives to figure this out. Oddly enough, Green Arrow, you'll find this funny or ironic. Green Arrow actually voices Superman in this Injustice anime movie, and by Green Arrow I mean Justin Hartley. And you don't know what I mean, because you're like, wait a minute, I thought Stephen Amell was Green Arrow. No, the first Green Arrow, live action Green Arrow, was Justin Hartley from the Smallville series. And he, in this movie, he voices Superman of both Earths. So, I felt like it's a little ironic, even though Green Arrow was in this movie, they didn't have him voice Green Arrow. That instead they chose him to voice Superman. But yeah, in his moment of freaking out, he hears a commotion. This commotion is Batman. He hears somebody, his super hearing picks up on somebody on chatter or somebody fighting with Batman. He realized Batman is in Metropolis. And with that, Superman speeds off. Lois was in there brushing her teeth. She realized something's going down, so she hurried up, finishes getting dressed, and heads in for work. Cue in Batman scene. Batman is basically fighting these group of thugs, and Batman being Batman, he's got the upper hand. Batman then doesn't see that somebody he supposedly, Batman really doesn't miss everybody, but supposedly he missed the guy just for the sake of killing in Clark. So the guy pulls out the gun. He's getting ready to shoot Batman, but then Clark comes in, crushes the gun, and puts the guy out. Batman does the usual Batman thing. He said, "I had that." He said, "I had that," and then Clark proceeds to tell you that I got news, Bruce. And Bruce just looks at Clark. He looked like he basically analyzing. He was like, and then he turns back to the criminal. Was like, Lois is pregnant. He was like, what? Wait, how do you know? And he was like, because when you fought Doomsday, your hands wasn't trembling, and you got that big stupid grin on your face, and it goes back to Superman to show that he got a big stupid grin on his face, and then he's like, huh. Well, I'll be because he realized Batman was telling the truth. He looked at his hand. His hand was trembling with excitement because and excitement, anxiety, and all that type of emotions you go through when you realize you're about to have a baby. And he's excited. He decided to talk to Bruce about it, but Bruce has pressing issues. Bruce tells him that Joker is in Metropolis, and that as soon as he finds Joker, he could take He's going to get Joker out of his hair, out of his city, and he could go back to having his, you know, his excitement filled day with Lois Lane. So we see that Joker is causing a lot of chaos in Metropolis, but he has as we know from the Injustice prequel series, he has a plan. Uh, it has a lot of death in this movie. There's a lot of death, and then at times, man, I want to say this part for the end, but it's like it goes into what I'm talking about. There's a lot of death in this movie, but then some of the death becomes unnecessary and wasn't even part of the actual series in the prequel or video game. It wasn't even part of the Injustice series. That was certain people die in this movie that don't even die in the Injustice world. We have people who survived the Injustice world to when the Superman or the Batman and them from the world that didn't go the Injustice route. When they go to the Injustice world, they have to fight certain heroes that's on Superman's side. And I'll touch on that later, but that's a big negative about this movie is that the major negative that feeds into other negatives is that they changed a lot from the source material. While they base it off the year one comics, the comics before the game, they changed a lot about it to the point where it's like it really kind of. And this was supposed to be an R-rated movie, but it didn't really feel R-rated. Like I had to before I did this video, no lie. Before I did this video, I had to go look up to make sure this movie was R-rated because I was going to say it was R-rated, but it didn't feel R-rated because it was like the scene where, I'm jumping the gun here, but the scene where Superman, Joker, they kind of cut it. Like they kind of cut it and then they kind of cut it and kind of show it at the same time. Like, right when the punch is getting ready to happen, you see Batman like, but then they go back and you see Superman like this with in the comics it saw him like this with his hand like this, but in the animated film instead of his hand being like this through Joker's chest, it's like this through Joker's chest, and Joker, in the game, when that happens to Joker, he just go and dies. He actually doesn't do that before, as he's dying from the punch. He actually has a monologue with Superman while he's still got while Superman's hand is through him, and then as Superman goes like this, then we get the we get that. But I'm jumping the gun here. So we get to the chaos. There's a superhero who Batman employs to go search when it's realized that after Joker kills a certain someone and kidnap Lois, that should be a spoiler who he killed before kidnapping Lois, because if you know your Superman mythology, you know who always with Lois when she's out on the scene. There's only one person that's with Lois when she's doing her thing, reporting what's going on with Superman or the Justice League. And Joker kills this person and kidnaps Lois. This is how Superman finds out that Lois has been kidnapped, because he goes to the scene of the crime and realizes this person is dead, which hurts Superman. But then he realizes Lois and this person is inseparable, so he knows Lois is kidnapped. So Batman, like I said, Batman has a certain superhero scan for Joker, which he ends up finding the hidden layer of Scarecrow, and and realized that Joker was at the Scarecrow's fear toxin, which caused him to get hit by the fear toxin and ended up being killed. Note to self: this person I'm talking about does not die in the prequel series or in the video games at all. Like he's in both. He survives both the prequel series. He's the Injustice version, so he survives the prequel series, the main game, and the second game. But in this movie, he dies right at the beginning. So now it's chaos ensues. The search is on for Lois, and this would lead to what we know, the whole Superman getting poisoned. Eventually, it leads to Superman finding out where Joker and all of them is hiding, but he gets hit with the fear toxin, which we know from the prequel series is also fused with kryptonite. That's why it affects Superman. He sees Doomsday, but we all know who he really was fighting, and it wasn't even like a fight. He's just like, I won't let you hurt anybody. Boom! And he just shoots through the roof of this submarine and into outer space. And Batman realizes what's going on. He's like Superman, Clark, stop! Whatever you're seeing is not real. And he's like, Superman's like, what? And he looks, and you see Doomsday like this, and then Doomsday fades, and it was truly Lois. Thus, the events of then cue in the scene from Injustice: God Among Us, where explosion, everybody's running, and you see a Superman with a dead Lois float back down to Earth in the crater that was Metropolis. Cue in the other scene where now Joker is being interrogated by Batman, basically to the point where I was talking about earlier. And this scene is different from the prequel series and the video game, as the dialogue is different. Used in the game, Joker really didn't have an answer for why he did. He was the Boy Scout, so big, so dumb, and he was basically give Batman an answer. And here he gave Batman an answer on why he did it, and why I won't tell you what that answer is. That just say that it has something to do with Batman. And the Joker basically says, because of that, Batman, I went and targeted Superman. So that's basically what in the actual scene he explains that because of Batman he targeted Superman. But that wasn't the actual explanation. But that's my hint about what he tells Batman. Which hurts Batman. Then we get the faithful Superman busting in. Everybody trying to stop Superman because they know he's going. Superman goes in there. He goes. He kills Joker. His life is forever changed because he just took a life, and he's horrified. He's horrified, and then for a moment to see what he's done, and then quickly resolved. Thus, a series of events, just like the prequel series, where Superman starts dominating and taking over, and basically try to bring about peace. The more and more this goes, like the game, the more and more into madness Superman gets, and Wonder Woman is there to stoke his fire, but then it deviates. So we got heroes that was central characters to the plot that we didn't get. You did get the prequel series death of Dick Grayson, but then there's like this whole other scene with Dick Grayson where his spirit you see what happens to his spirit. His spirit doesn't even, he think he's in heaven, but he's really been taken to another realm by this deity who it was a female deity. I think it's that India deity, the blue woman that has like the 6 to 8 arms. She basically informs her that he's a central plot. He's a central key figure into stopping what's about to occur. So she imbues him with his power and knowledge and turns him from Nightwing to I'll let you see what they name him, but it still got wing in it. But then that becomes a whole little that becomes a stupid thing in itself because then now for some reason they take you through this whole scene to make you think Dick Grayson's little subplot is going to matter in this movie, and it doesn't. It doesn't matter at all. The most it accomplished is to heal the relationship between Dick and Damien. And Damien basically, Damien. If you don't know what I'm talking about, why else they focus on Dick and Damien. If you haven't read the prequel series, you would know what I mean because Damien has something to do with Dick, and but they, Damien and Dick has this conversation, and basically that all things is good because Nightwing doesn't hold no ill will towards Damien, and that's the subplot for Nightwing. There's other characters. Ra's al Ghul and Amazo plays a pivotal role in this movie that I don't even think play a role at all in the aside from being mentioned by Damian Wayne. I don't think Ra's al Ghul and Amazo play any type of role in the prequel comics, and definitely in the games. If I'm wrong, correct me in the comments down below, but I'm pretty sure they didn't play a role in that at all. But so yeah, we get the typical Wonder Woman stoking Superman's fire, even with her trying to get close to and even trying to be with Superman, but Superman turns her down because it's too soon. Then the movie gets blurred between. Cause at this point, the events of the video game, Injustice: God Among Us, and the prequel series starts to blur together because certain events that happen in the video game happens right now. In this moment, at this point, the movie starts to feel a little bit rushed. But yeah, you got heroes who won't stand with Superman. Like Aquaman, he always had that big thing about standing with Superman, but then we all know he ended up standing with Superman. No Adam, no Black Adam, so you don't even they don't even have him in the movie at all. He makes no appearance in the movie. The only villain he works with is only villain that Superman works with is Ra's al Ghul. And that goes to hell in the handbasket. Because that's what, after all the disagreement, that's what because of Amazo and Ra's al Ghul's betrayal, that's what brings them back together. But then there's a lot of stuff I didn't mention because if you want to see it, I don't want to spoil it for you. But there's a lot of second guessing from a certain character that we know from in the comics. So I want y'all to listen to me. The character that we know that stoked his fire, that caused him to be what he is second guessing towards the middle end, and then basically does a 360, and basically is the Wonder Woman of the wreck. Oh damn! Well, yeah, she becomes basically like the Wonder Woman of the video game, of the good guy side of the video game version. Yeah. So at this point, we get the only cool thing I would say that happened up at this point. We did get one character doing a finisher, and they do actually two. They do the Injustice 2 and Injustice 1 version of this. One character does both video game versions of his finisher, and his one finisher is both finishers combined. We do get Superman versus Superman. It was just jumbled up mess, and then they went the Batman versus Superman route of how things unfolded and ended, and I don't look like there's going to be a sequel because if you remember, Superman never came to his senses. Even in the second one, he still thought he was right. So take that what you will about the ending of this movie. But overall, if I were to give this movie anything, I would give it a 6 big ups, just because it was cool to see the movie in its glory, in a rated R animated glory. But overall, it was bad because the negatives outweighed it so much, because the negatives was the couple of negatives was that they changed too much of it. They changed it so much from the source material that it didn't feel like I didn't feel like I was watching. At certain times, I'm like, if I'm even watching Injustice, because you change it so much. You change so much of it that you basically assure that this wasn't going to be another Injustice movie. And even if you do make another one, it wouldn't make sense because you're not going off the source material like you should have been. But yeah, it's because they changed a lot of things, both small and major. The stupid Dick Grayson Nightwing subplot that really went nowhere. Like, when you see the movie, you understand, like, once you get this elaborate scene with him, and you thought you're gonna be seeing him involved and doing all this type of stuff, it doesn't get nowhere near what you thought it was gonna be. Too many people died, to the point where it was people that shouldn't have died, because they don't die in the comics or the video games. And then overall, like, just the pacing felt rushed, but the pacing, the movie, it just felt rushed. It just felt rushed and horrible. But I think what else? It anything else? The pacing, the changes, the changes to not only the story but some of the characters, the depth that went too much, the and the pacing. I think I said pacing already, but the positives was it really was an R-rated movie. It was somewhat like the video game. I think it was just the positive was that it was somewhat like the video games. I did enjoy it for what it was, but I don't need to see the movie again, nor would I buy it. But like, I only had two positives: that it was the fact that it was an Injustice movie, and that it had good visuals and somewhat okay acting. But overall, I don't. If you want to see it, see it. But like me, if you look for me to be like, if it's a movie where I buy to continue watching over and over again, no, it's not. But if you enjoy this review, then hit that button right there in the upper right corner for all of my reviews. And if you enjoyed this review so much you want to support the channel, then hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and hit that notification button so you get notified when I drop videos like these. And as always, hit any one of these videos for more of my amazing content, but don't go anywhere. I might have a gameplay video coming up for you. We'll see. Peace.